Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Roy Report. I am your World Who I See, and we're going to do another, I know, of your absolute favorite segments of a prepper acronym. And so today, I chose to do CERT, C.E.R.T. And no, I do not mean the abbreviation for certification, although it's not a bad idea to be certified in CPR, first aid, first responder, um, basically anything medical. There's a ton of different skills and other things that you can be certified in. That is not a bad idea. That does, come back around into the prepping sphere of everything. But not today. Today, CERT is going to stand in an acronym, and it is going to be Community Emergency Response Team. Now, there's a ton of response teams, and I've seen it from serious, actual professional response teams, all the way down to people doing it for games or doing it for fun. Um, but in this one, CERT, Community Emergency Response Team. And really, you can kind of put this in as kind of like a community watch or something like that, but more of a step or two up. So, in my opinion, the best line of defense that you can have of just about any sort of anything prep related, whether that be a act of God sort of natural disaster, so hurricane, tornado, flood, fire, earthquake, landslide, volcano, whatever. Usually, a lot of those events are localized, and so that is a community thing. If the more that you can get your community involved, because your community cares about your community. When you have something happen and it is, let's say, relatively small on the national scale. So, um, let's say I don't know, let's say an earthquake happens and that damages the only elementary school and does some things to maybe like take part of the hospital down and some other things. Nothing serious, nothing life threatening or whatever, but that's devastating to your community. And while you see a bunch of the real big names or movie stars, and you can probably hear the plane, um, that go on and oh, please send money for this and send money for that while I take a photo op. That's for real big things. And then people suddenly want to come or care about a community that they will never find on a map, they'll never talk about ever again, anything like that. For you, your community cares about your community. And if your community does not care about its own self or its own community, then you live in the wrong community and you need to move. I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but sorry, reality is if your community does not like itself, get out. Um, and I got pretty lucky for the most part where I live. Perfect, uh, everybody looks out for everybody, everybody helps everybody, all that. And so, if something were to happen, we would be able to uh, really take our CERT and go. Um, and that is practicing everything. That's running drills. That's um, running around the perimeter. That's talking with each other. That's word of mouth communication. Doing everything so that way, whatever event happens, then you have a response team to it. Who needs what? Who's got what job? When something happens, you don't need everybody running around freaking out with a chicken with their head cut off. Um, let's say that you live in a very small town, maybe 500 people total, and um, something happens, and maybe a third of the place or half the place the electricity's out. Well, on something like that, you never know where you're going to have a bad apple or two that's going to try and exploit the situation. And therefore, one of the stories that I've read about in the past was I think it was a small tornado went through and then kind of tore up part of the town, and they all got together before really anybody even kind of got out there, because of all the red tape and somebody's going to sue somebody and all that other stuff. These guys didn't care. They threw their chainsaw in the back of the pickup and went and cleared the roads and stood guard outside of people's houses and got tarps and duct tape and whatever. And they went to work. Screw the red tape. This is my community. I'm going to help. And that's the way it should be. And I know there's a lot of people out there that you know, they have faith that a 3-letter, 4-letter agency is going to come save them, that they don't have to have anything more than a flashlight that takes 8D batteries that they haven't used in 3 years, or as long as I have 2 or 3 bottles of water and a pack of crackers, I can survive anything because somebody's coming to get me. Bad news, nobody's coming to get you unless you have set it up for yourself or you are incredibly lucky. Nobody's coming. The only people that are coming are the people that want your stuff. So, if you do not have a community response team, now would be a good time to start thinking about one. Now would be a good time to get together with the people of your community to set some stuff up, to get things planned and do some dry runs, give out some jobs. Who's going to do the head count? Who's going to be in charge of comms? Who's going to be in charge of security? Who's going to be in charge of medical? Give out jobs. When something happens, it's repetition. Your body just immediately goes to work. It's not running around trying to figure out who's in charge and what to do and where's Bob and this and that and everything else. It's something happens and people go to work the way it should be. So I hope that if you haven't heard that, maybe that helps you. A little bit of a food for thought. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. Do all the fun YouTube things. Hit the little bell for notifications. Hit the like, the subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check us out on Facebook. With that, I will tell you to remain united. We're all prepping this together.